So, the emulsion lives in this tiny refrigerator. I've already gotten it out. By keeping it a little bit cooler, it actually lasts a bit longer, because I do like the emulsion to remain predictable in timing, and so that's why we chill it, so that way everything stays the same. Otherwise, if it starts to get old, when we go to exposure on the light table in there, it will actually take longer, and you'll wonder, why is my screen a little off? Why is this not washing out very well? It's because this is aging, so the refrigerator helps. Okay? So, what you're going to do is use this handy dandy little opener. And it's a little fussy, as you would imagine. Either of you painted, used like house paint, opened house paint containers, cans? Okay. Not you, okay. It's the same process. I always buy paint in 5-gallon drums, and so it's the same.
What is emulsion?
That's an excellent question, yes. As a little refresher, the emulsion is what we put on the screen that actually holds your image. So it is, like I said before, it is light sensitive, so once it's on the screen and it dries, you'll be able to put an image there, and when you expose it to light, the places that have been exposed to light are then what we call burned into the screen. And so when you run water over it, where you've blocked the light, and in your case it'll be a stencil for the first one, when you wash it away, then that's where you can add the ink and create your print. And so that's the emulsion. Have any of you done like darkroom photography? Okay. That's okay. That is okay, that's not a requirement, but it's similar. All right, so we are using this is a scoop coater. So with the scoop coater, we have two sides, this sort of thicker side and then this blade side, but it's often sort of hard to really tell. But this is a bit thinner, and that is what is the screen side, what part will actually touch the screen. And I've also left a little line in here to tell you how full to pour this in. Now this is where it gets really fun. And I would like you all to have gloves on, because it's not the best thing to get all over your hands. These are supposed to be 1-size-fits-all gloves, you know. Fits me well. If I'm the one size, I don't know. We can see, and you're always welcome to get your own personal gloves. So this will be fun, but you'll need to pour the emulsion in to about that line, and it takes a second to really determine. You'll see why there's a mess on the table, because it does drip. And that's just the bad design of this container.
Don't we have some kind of funnel thingy that I used over the summer that's easier to pour out?
Well, that was for the 5 gallons.
Oh.
It doesn't, sadly, that's the bummer of this design. They used to, when I first started using this company, it was a better design. It had a built-in pour spout. And I literally called them and I was like, why did you change this? And it was just a cost-effective cost thing. So the problem is, yes, there are spouts, but they are designed for the 5 gallon. And so I haven't found, and I had the physical plant team, I asked him when he was here for helping me with the gallery, and he was like, no, there really isn't one that fits that. So anyway, we don't have to put it all the way yet, because we're going to pour what we don't use back in there. Now, you want to try to eliminate some of these bubbles. So I always have these little squeegees in here. Do y'all see the bubbles? So try to, you know, the little baby ones you're going to have. It's better if you hum. It makes a difference. Don't you think?
I do.
Right? I appreciate that. Okay. Oh, there's still some. So that's the bummer of, you know, You have to pour it. That's the bummer. Is that pouring?
We're cutting both sides?
We are coating both sides. It doesn't, I think I've put, it really doesn't matter which. I think I've given you an order, flat side. This is what we'll call the flat side, the ink side. Again, this will make sense when you see sort of the whole thing start to come together on Thursday. This is where you'll actually apply ink. But I'll keep reminding you of that because, like I said, it will make sense to you. And so thin side, the screen side, goes to the screen. I'm a bit short, so I have to use this stool. You'll see why. Now, students, if you want to come right behind me, Scott and France, because this is what I want you to see. The emulsion needs to touch the screen.
Evenly?
Yup. You see how that's happening? Mm-hmm. Emulsion. France, can you see me? Where are you, France?
Over here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, it's on there. And now this is the part, it's sort of feel. And you can see I got a couple bubbles still, but that's why we coat both sides. You tilt it back and let it ooze back in and then go up.
So why are we doing the back side?
Well, you do both sides. Some places, some emulsions, you can just do one side. As I mentioned, there are tons of variables with this. I wasn't totally successful in getting all the air bubbles out. And so by doing both sides, because right now this will affect your image, but with both sides being done, then it's not as, it's just more foolproof. As far as, you'll see, it becomes thicker. I am just doing some more bubble popping. That sounds like a game, doesn't it?
Bubble popper.
Let's do some more bubble popping. All right, you do the same thing. Did I flip it over? Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you. In my talking. And see, now do you see that it's more of a solid pink, and that's why we do both sides. Tilt it back, let all of it ooze in. Voila. Now it's more even. You'll get better at it.
So we do one coat?
One coat, and then you put it back. We don't have assigned spots. I just sort of picked these for myself. Your names are on your screen, so it doesn't matter. See the next.
What do you do with the excess? Pour it back in?
Got it. Now, this is what you do. Normally, you wouldn't do this unless you were the only one working. But most of the time I would have two other folks come in, but I want the video to have start to finish on it. So we're pretending no one else is scooping today. So Z doesn't have to stand here for the next 45 minutes and watch everybody scoop.
Is there a reason why it's pink, red?
That's a good question. Some emulsions are yellow, some are green.
I've seen blue.
Yeah, blue. Some emulsions or some coating, people will just use one coat. That's part of all the variables I was telling you about. I don't know why this particular one is pink. I pick this one because it's a bit slow. Some of the blue or the green emulsions are pretty fast, meaning you have 15 seconds you're exposing, and if you go 16 seconds, it's overexposed and you can't wash it out. If you go 14 seconds, it's underexposed and you wash your whole image out. And so that is a little sensitive, I think, for beginning printmakers. This particular RLX emulsion is much more forgiving. You have more of like a 10-second window versus one, because there's an element of chance and guess, which is why I said we might want a printmaking altar out there for the printmaking gods. Okay? So then you just take this out to the sink, wash it out, and to where there's no, like you saw how clean. So when I say wash it out, I mean really wash it out. Okay?
We use a degreaser or?
No, you just wash it with water.
Okay.
You just wash it in the
With the
normal, yeah, you don't have to use any of the hoses, just the normal faucet.
Oh, okay.
Nothing special. Just wash it to where it's clean. It's a little thick, but it comes
Should we
out pretty well.
keep our gloves on when we're washing it? Can we?
Sometimes what I do, because I will have gotten messy, so that's why we really kind of go through the gloves here. It's not the best, but I will take these off and use like the big
Oh, the dish gloves.
Yeah, I have giant dish gloves in there for that, so. And also you can get the water up under here, so, okay?